And I said to him the other day, and I just said to Campbell Hatton, I said, you've got to enjoy this, because this will go. Your career will go. I said, and in 15, 20 years' time, you look back and think, oh, wow, I was actually there.
This is Jonathan Agar, Pro Boxing Fans, joined by John Fisher for the first time. Great to meet you. I've known your son for ages now, but how you doing?
Someone's just nicked my cookies. Who's nicked my cookies? There are wonderful cookies here at the Pan Pacific Hotel. Right,
That's a plug for them.
Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. What a lovely setting, and I think we're waiting for AJ to come in any time. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's start with Johnny in his first title fight this Saturday. When this journey all started, could you imagine him being in such big fights?
You know what, to be honest, probably no one knew where he could get to. You know, we knew he had raw power, we knew he's fast, we knew he worked hard, but in boxing, like in any sport, you need a bit of luck and you need to be in the right place at the right time. And although it's a title fight on Saturday night, you've got to treat it just like any other fight. You've just got to win that fight and move on. Nothing else matters.
What are your emotions like on fight day and leading up to the fight? Because I know you deal with all the behind the scenes stuff, so Johnny can just focus on training and stuff, but you're a busy man yourself. Very busy, but on fight night, on fight day, me and my wife, as soon as we can, we go and sit in our seat. I just watch all the other fights. I like to keep myself to myself. I think I'm doing a boxing brunch thing with Spencer Oliver and Gareth A. Davis. I'll be there for a couple of hours, but actually when it gets to near fight time, we just sit away and keep ourselves to ourselves. I'm very nervous, very nervous. In terms of his opponent, what do you think of it, and how do you think Johnny wins it?
Yeah, I think Johnny can win it however he wants to win it. Harry Armstrong's a good bloke. Johnny sparred him only a couple of rounds before. He'll come to fight, he'll come to win, which is great for Johnny, because there's nothing worse than when you've got to go looking for it. If Johnny's got someone in front of him that wants to be there, he'll land a few big punches, and I think it'll be it might take 2 or 3 rounds, but I think Johnny will get the win, and I think he'll get the win quite well if everything goes according to plan. But with boxing, you never know, so you know what you can hope for and what happens, 2 different things. But I'm very confident he's had the best camp he's ever had. That's why when the fight might have been called off, I was just a bit gutted, because he's had such a good camp. Most like other fights, Saints might have been hurting, so it might not have been right, but this one, everything's spot on, so it'd be good to see. And as Johnny said up there, it'd be good for him to show what he can do over 3-4 rounds, because he hasn't really been given the chance. You know, people have felt the power and they've gone, so hopefully Harry's a tough bloke. He'll take a couple and he'll want to still stand there, so give Johnny a chance to show what he can do.
It's a big deal as well, isn't it? Southern area title. Just for you and your family, I know you used to box a bit. How much would it mean to see Johnny have a belt round his waist?
Listen, it means a lot to have a belt round your waist, but you don't need a belt. You just need to win the fight and move on. Do you know what I mean? You take that equation out of it. He's boxed in front of massive crowds before. This will be the biggest, but he's boxed at Ali Pali, 6,000-7,000 people. This will probably be double that by the time he boxes. But most of the support will be there for him, and he loves it. He thrives off it. So just a great thing to be part of. And I said to him the other day, and I just said to Campbell Hatton, I said, you've got to enjoy this, because this will go. Your career will go. I said, and in 15, 20 years' time, you look back and think, oh wow, I was actually there. Because when they're here now, you just take it for granted. This is a big thing for Johnny, Campbell Hatton, all the other young boxers out there. I mean, I just see Filip Hrgović is sitting next to Johnny. He's come up, said hello to me, and it's crazy. You know, he's Filip Hrgović, #1 ranked in the world, and he's coming up and saying hello. He's huge, by the way. He's a lot bigger than what I thought he was, so I'll be nice to him.
Just want to ask you about, obviously, we've got Joshua-Helenius on Saturday. It wasn't the fight that was meant to be. Obviously, Dillian Whyte had an adverse analytical finding. What was your reaction, and what do you make of what Derek said up there, saying anyone with PEDs in their system should be banned for 10 years?
Well, first of all, the drug testing system should be foul-proof or foolproof. So once you get found, you know you've done something wrong. But at the moment, we're finding, oh, this ain't right, that ain't right. So when you hear people are drug cheating, you think, are they actually a drug cheat? Because that comes into your mind straight away. You think, are they doing something wrong, or is there something wrong with the tests, or of what we've all been hearing? But the drugs body, the British Boxing Board of Control, they've got to be the biggest part in the sport, bigger than any of the promoters, and what they say goes, and people have got to respect the rules. And if you are found to be a drugs cheat, I think automatic ban, 10 years, what Derek said there, because it is an hard enough sport, and for people to be cheating. But it's on the other side as well. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You just don't know who to believe. But we've all been told science is the way forward. So if the science says you're cheating, 99.99% of the time, it proves that you probably are.
And just finally, what do you make of the main event, Joshua-Helenius?
Listen, I'll be truthful with you. I thought AJ White, a lot of people had hype for it. It didn't excite me as much as it excited other people. It's always just good to see AJ box or White box. But it's just good to see Anthony Joshua box. You know, anyone that moaned, I want my money back. You've got a great card there full of heavyweights, and you're watching Anthony Joshua box. And there's always a risk element with heavyweights. And Joshua's still not in the right place to where he wants to be. You know, so it'd be good to see him get a good, convincing win and put him back on the right track.
And I guess it was important because, you know, if Johnny doesn't fight, then he doesn't get paid, right?
Yeah, listen, I just said in another interview, it's a business what Johnny's in, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We're all in business, we've all worked. When it don't go according to plan, you can't dwell on it, you just move on. But yeah, you wouldn't get paid, and for like all the undercard fighters there, not getting paid is a big deal. And perhaps that's something else that's got to be looked at in boxing. If a show gets cancelled because of drugs, you can sue the man who's been found guilty of, or woman of taking the drugs, because it's not right. It's not fair that the youngsters or the up and coming ones don't get paid because they need their money.
John, appreciate your time. Great to meet you. Keep doing your thing because you're smashing it, and see you soon.
See you soon.